Today we are going to discuss about an important topic, internal capsule. What is internal capsule? Everybody knows about the brain. This is cerebrum. Okay, this cerebrum, this is the lateral sulcus, and this is the central sulcus, and this is the parieto-occipital sulcus, and this is the pre-occipital notch. So this is how the cerebral cortex is divided into few lobes. This is frontal lobe, this is parietal lobe, this is occipital lobe, and this is temporal lobe. From all the lobes, the fibers has to come down, right? And it has to go to the spinal cord and other subcortical areas. This is cerebral cortex, and the subcortical areas are your red nucleus and the substantia nigra and corpus striatum. These are all called as subcortical areas and otherwise called as extrapyramidal system. And what is pyramidal system? That is your cortico-spinal tract. From the cerebral cortex straight it is going to the spinal cord. So these two areas, so fibers from the cortex, it has to go to the subcortical centers as well as to the spinal cord. How these fibers are going? So these fibers are very enormous because they are coming from the occipital side, they are coming from the temporal lobe, from all the areas it is coming. Where is the destination? All the fibers are going towards the pons. So names are given as frontopontine, parieto-pontine, occipitopontine and temporopontine fibers. Like that the fibers are going down. When all the fibers are going down, this is pyramidal fibers are also coming, extrapyramidal fibers are also coming, along with that corticonuclear fibers. Head and neck, cranial nerve nucleus is there, no? All the fibers, cranial nerve nucleus, from the cortex to the cranial nerve nucleus. Because cerebral cortex should know, if I want to open my mouth, if I want to protrude my tongue, that is the tongue protrusion is by the hypoglossal nerve. That is 12th nerve. So 12th nerve nucleus should have some connection with the cerebral cortex. Then only I can protrude my tongue. So there should be some connection existing between the cerebral cortex and the hypoglossal nerve nuclei. That is called as corticonuclear fibers. So all these fibers are coming. So it is tightly crowded. This area is called as internal capsule. Okay, this area is called as internal capsule, and the fibers are radiating and it is coming down. That is why it is called as corona radiata. Corona radiata. Okay, not only the descending fibers, ascending fibers from the thalamus is also going the same route. So ascending fibers from the thalamus means it is a sensory area. So thalamus is a sensory area where your pain, temperature, touch, everything is going. From the thalamus also the fibers are entering here to the sensory area. So the fibers are tightly, compactly present in this area called as internal capsule. Before doing that internal capsule, you should know what are the white fibers we are going to see. So the white fibers are, you can classify as association fibers. Number 1, association fibers. Okay, and number 2 is the, one is association fibers, number 2 is the commissural fiber, number 3 is the projection fiber. Okay, 3 fibers. Associate fibers means association. You have short association fibers. Short association means from this gyrus to this gyrus, the fibers are associated. This is called as short association fibers. Nearby, so here to here it is going, here to here it is going, this gyrus to this gyrus it is going. So it is called as short association fiber. And you have long association fibers also. Long association fibers are examples: superior longitudinal fiber and inferior longitudinal fiber, and frontal to occipital lobe the fibers are going. Superior longitudinal means it will be going from here to here, inferior longitudinal means here to here, and from the frontal to occipital the fibers are going. That is called as fronto-occipital fibers. So these are all called uncinate fasciculus. You can call, many are there, at least 4 you should write. Uncinate fasciculus. These are all called long association fibers. So association fibers you have written. Then commissural fiber. What do you mean by the word commissural fiber? Commissure means, for this one what I showed, association is within the same cerebral cortex. This side, if it is left side means inside the left side it is communicating. That is called association fibers. Commissural means from the left to the right it is communicating. So we do have 2 cerebral hemispheres. So from this cerebral hemisphere to right cerebral hemisphere to left cerebral hemisphere it is communicating. That's why it is called as commissural fiber. So what are the commissural fibers? Number 1, you have the anterior commissural fiber and you have the posterior commissural fiber, And you have the most important commissural fiber called corpus callosum. And then fourth one is habenular commissure. And the last one is hippocampal commissure. Hippocampal. What is that anterior commissure? Anterior commissure is nothing but in this area, in the anterior part only, you will be having the olfactory area. So olfactory area, both the sides it is having the communication. That's why it is called as olfactory communication or anterior commissure. Both sides olfactory area is connected. So this area only, beneath that only you will be having the olfactory region. So olfactory region this side, to the opposite side it is communicating. That's why it is called that commissure is called as anterior commissure. Number 2 is the posterior commissure. Posterior commissure is connecting the superior colliculus. First one is anterior commissure. It connects the lower end of the two temporal lobes. Lower end of the two temporal lobes and to the olfactory area. So both areas are connected, both the sides. Posterior commissure means it connects both the sides superior colliculus and the pretectal nucleus. Superior colliculus and pretectal nucleus are present in the midbrain. Okay, so you should know that superior colliculus means for vision. Pretectal is also optic nerve, carries fibers. Light reflex you might have read, no, that is pretectal nucleus. So superior colliculus and pretectal nucleus of both the sides has to be connected by the posterior commissure. Corpus callosum is the largest commissural fiber. MCQ, largest commissural fiber. It connects both the cerebral hemispheres. Finished. And habenular commissure connects both the sides habenular nucleus. Hippocampal commissure connects the crura of the fornix. Crura of the fornix means everyone should know that there is something called as hippocampus. The both the sides above the hippocampus. Hippocampus is a grey matter. So above the hippocampus there is a white matter which is called as alveus. The alveus continues up as fimbriae. The fimbriae continues as fornix. Okay, this is called crus of the fornix. So both the sides, the crus of the fornix, they join both the sides. That is called as hippocampal commissure. That is called hippocampal commissure. So again I repeat, this is the hippocampus. This is grey matter. Above that white matter it is called as alveus, and that alveus continues above as fornix. Understood? So both the sides, the crus, this is called crus of the fornix, they join together. That is called as hippocampal commissure. So you have written the commissural fibers also. Last one, projection fiber. Projection fiber only we are going to see, that is your internal capsule. So internal capsule view we are going to see. Internal capsule, it is a separate essay. So internal capsule we will see in the next video. So we have seen the white fibers. What are the white fibers? Associative fibers, commissural fibers and projection fibers. Sometimes corpus callosum can be asked as a separate short note. So you have to write the parts of the corpus callosum. So corpus callosum has rostrum, genu. There you have to draw like this. This is called rostrum, and this turning is called genu, and this part is called trunk of the corpus callosum, and this is called as splenium of the corpus callosum. These are the four parts. Number 1, this is the rostrum, this is the genu, and this is the trunk, and this is the splenium of the corpus callosum. And from the genu, the fibers are here only you have to draw the cerebral cortex, right? Like this we will be drawing the cerebral cortex. So from the genu, the fibers are going to the frontal lobe. This is called as forceps minor, MCQ. So fibers are coming from the genu to the frontal lobe. This is called forceps minor. Fibers are coming from the splenium to the parietal, occipital as well as the temporal lobe. So this is called as forceps major. This forceps major, they form an impression inside the posterior horn of the lateral ventricle. That is called as bulb of the posterior horn. These three are MCQs. Bulb of the posterior horn. Understood? So forceps minor is from genu, forceps major is from the splenium. That forms the impression in the ventricle, that is called as bulb of the posterior horn. So that's all about the fibers, white fibers. In the next video we are going to see the internal capsule.